Get the picture? No. Yeah, I know. It's radio. There is no picture. All right. How about this one? Like mystery. All right. Here's the thing. D. McClung here. Archer Monologues. That's where I talk and you listen. Or not. This is not a discussion. This is not a debate. This is certainly not an argument. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, I have a right to my opinion. You can have it, and you can even express it, and you could even, write it down and put it up on the internet or whatever. You could probably even publish a book. Because, I can. There are means to do so. You can publish a book on, self-publish your book for free. Don't cost you anything on Amazon. If you want a copy of it, I suppose you have to pay a small fee for them to print it for you. And at any rate, the thing is, all right, it's like, I wish I had this sound effect for light bulbs or flashes, like flashing camera, don't have that. So let's see what else we can do. Mystery. Yeah, I'm having fun with sound effects. I've got a few. I think about thousands. But I don't have that program up and running at the moment. Kind of limited to about 8. Well, actually 9, because one sound effect is me talking. So anyway, let's get serious here. Shall we get serious? What do you think? What do you say? Shall we get serious? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What I was going to say is this, and I want it to be somewhat serious, but I didn't really want to rant and rave. I wanted to kind of take it easy today and just kind of talk. Here's the thing. Like I said, this is not a place for dialogue. This is radio. This is where one person is talking. Well, in my case, because there's nobody else here in the studio but me. And Jack the cat doesn't talk English. I'm not sure he even understands English. Jack the cat is probably like most people, Americans, like, what's English? I don't understand English. You're talking, but I don't know what you're saying. And then, of course, Jack talks back to me and says, meow. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Well, I do know what it means. I can even spell it. Meow. M-E-O-W. And he's maybe standing at the door and, kind of with the paw up on the door and like, meow, meaning, hey, dumbass American. I mean, dumbass human. I want outside. Open the damn door. And so I do, and he goes out and does whatever he does, and then occasionally, eventually, and inevitably, he'll come back and actually indicate that he wants back in. And I like his slave, actually let him back in. Because cats just can't reach the doorknob. You follow me? So, here's the thing. I was just wondering. People who live in that, what's that word? I think they call it swingers? And people that live the swinger lifestyle, I wonder about that. I don't have anything to say about it. I just say I wonder about it. I'm just saying it seems a little kind of unorthodox. It's not something you'd imagine, like, say, your mother. Like, I'm an older guy, and my mother is elderly, 90 years old, in fact. And I just can't imagine my mother being a swinger ever in her life. Just doesn't, that whole process, that whole way of living to me just seems like not totally contrary to her personality. Now, that's not to say my mother wasn't like a woman and normal, and I mean, she had a couple of kids, so I'm guessing she did it a couple of times at least. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe more than a couple of times. I know we kind of cringe when we think, oh, my mom, ooh. But that's probably some sort of instinct in us that says, we shouldn't want to do it with her mom. You know what I mean? It's sort of an instinct, like, I'm not. If I imagine my mother doing it and it's like, yuck, then that will probably stop me from actually having a desire to have sex with my mother. Biologically, that's some sort of natural instinct there built in. So we would not actually, do that, and which is fine. That's cool. That'd be like saying, gee, how does nature deal with people, human beings, for example, or even animals, wanting to, have sex with their mate, with their parents? They just kind of make it repulsive in the mind of the child. And the child says, ew, that's yucky, I don't want to, no, yuck. And, that kind of prevents incest. Naturally, biologically, nature's law, not man's law, because man's law fucks. Man's law is just like, bah, dumb, in most cases. Like the law that says that it's a felony to talk to a teenager if you're, like, not a teenager. I'm just saying, that's just stupid law. Totally contradictory to everything. Intelligent, rational, logical, sane. But nonetheless, there's the law in America. And I was just wondering, I wonder if Canada has such a law. I hope not. People tell me, somebody I know told me, we don't have laws like that up here. We're like sane people. And we're actually free. We can, do what we want as long as we don't hurt anybody else. We're cool. And I'm thinking, I wonder if that's true. And if it is true, Canada would be like, hey, that's a pretty cool place. It sounds to me like I should probably go live there and not have to worry about, being a felon by just simply talking to some human being that, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was to say something like, let's say, I'll give you an example. I'm like somewhere, anywhere, anywhere. Let's say, walking down the street. And, here comes little teeny bopper coming up the street. And, and her little boobies are bouncing. Not so small that they don't bounce. And she's wearing a cool top on. Well, I don't know. Maybe she's wearing a bikini. Maybe she's going her way to the swimming pool, to spend the afternoon. It could be summer. And she's walking up the street, going boom, 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 boom. And she's cute, and she's got nice hair, and she's got a nice smile, and her eyes are like clear and bright, like she's really conscious of being alive on the planet. In other words, she's not like texting on her freaking iPod, and she's not got goth makeup on. She's not like looking like a freaky person. She's just a cute girl. 15 maybe, and she's got pretty good tits for that age. She's nice. And I'm walking down the street, and I'm thinking, nice. That's attractive. That's that young woman is, she looks good. Turns me on, and I haven't done anything, mind you. It's not like I've, grabbed her and dragged her into the bushes and fucked the eyes out of her. Fucked her head, No, I didn't. I'm not talking about that. I know you're thinking that, aren't you? Because you're a fucking pervert, and you think everybody else is a fucking pervert. Because, I wasn't going to rant. Yeah, well, I lied. Okay, I'll go back to not ranting. I'll try not to rant too much. That upsets people, I guess. No, I think people like it. I think people like it when people rant because they rant themselves. People always rant and raving about some shit. I kill these people because they're like, terrible people and they're like perverts and shit. And, you do. Unless you're really an enlightened person like me, in which case you rant and rave about people who rant and rave about things that shouldn't be ranted and raved about, because there's nothing wrong with that thing, whatever it might be. So anyway, here she's coming walking down the road, and she got like a little wiggle in her caboose, and she's wearing a bikini on the street, mind you, walking down the sidewalk on the street, like in public. Wow. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, what, I'm supposed to not look? You're an old fart and you shouldn't be looking at young girls. Excuse me. Says you. And you think I'm weird? There isn't any built-in instinctive thing in human beings to think that having, like, if I look at, like, us say a teenager, anyone from 13 to 19, teenager, and let's forget about this 18 is the age of adulthood in America kind of bullshit, because that's just a fabricated number made up by some, criminals, insane, maniac, Nazi fascist big bastards in a legislature. And they're total insane monsters. Nazi, fascist, police state motherfuckers. There I was just ranting and raving without raising my voice. Anyhow, so she's walking down the street, and there's no instinct, what I was saying was there's no instinct built into a man or anyone that I know of that says, oh, let's not get, let's not find a teenage girl with nice face and nice smile and nice eyes and nice hair and, nice tits and a nice ass and maybe a camel toe showing through that bikini bottom. Let's not even go there and think, wow, that's just weird. I can't even imagine having sex with that. That'd be like, ew. That'd be like having sex with my mother. Ew. Guess what? No. There isn't a guy on the planet, if he's like got both his balls, that would not look at that and say, damn, that is fucking hot. Now, I know you're saying, oh, you're like a pedophile. You know, I've said this many times. I've gone through, I've written about it, I put it on the internet, posted it on Facebook, everywhere. You know, pedophile doesn't mean that. All right? Number one, it doesn't mean that. And if you insist on putting a definition to a word that, you know, it doesn't apply to, then one, you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Seriously. Because, you know, in today's world where there's all this knowledge available, like the internet, you know, if you don't know something, Google it, and then you'll know. I know there's a lot of fake news and all that shit going on, but truth of the matter is, if you still believe something that's not true, then it's probably because your brain's not working right. You know, an idiot, in other words. Now, there's a lot of things like that on the internet. People always doing that. They're like, oh, you're an idiot. You know, you're a pervert. You're a pedophile. You know, you're disgusting. You know, you should be like beat to death with a fucking dildo or whatever. And people just love to say stuff like that. And they do it on the internet thinking, oh, like I'm anonymous. I mean, you know, nobody's going to like look me up, come down to my house and kill me because I'm a fucking asshole on the internet. You know, I wonder how many people would actually come to my house, look me in the face, and say what they say to me on the internet. I wonder how many people would have the balls to actually, like, drive all the way to my house, you know, park in the driveway, get out of their car, and, like, come over to my house and knock on my door and say, you're a fucking pervert, pedophile, freaking, someone should kill you. You know, who would have the balls to do that to my face? Okay, one thing is, if I'm such a terrible, terrible man, if I'm such an awful bastard, that I would be so, you know, like, just totally callously and without any compassion or without any kind of humanity, you know, just ravage the shit out of somebody, like, you know, like they seem to accuse people like me of, or, well, other people too that are actually pedophile. I'm not, but, I mean, they actually treat real pedophiles like pretty nasty like because they're fucking assholes. No, well, not pedophiles are not assholes. Well, they may be. There's no indication that a pedophile, a real pedophile, and I'm not one of those, but there's no indication that a real pedophile, it couldn't be just, you know, an asshole or a really nice guy. Because, I mean, I can imagine, let's say, just hypothetically here, and I don't want to see, someone's going to take this show, and I've said stuff, and then they're going to edit out certain words and make it sound like I said something I didn't say. You know, make a fake news story out of my show and make it totally not what I said. Because we've got editing capacity on the internet now. I can take someone's, say, YouTube video and totally Photoshop it and totally edit it and the sound and make it sound and look like totally the opposite of whatever it really was in the beginning. They can do that. In fact, they can put fake freaking not even real airplanes in a video crashing into, say, a Pentagon, for example. Like, yeah, that didn't happen, but they can make videos of it and say, yeah, see, there's a plane flying in the Pentagon. Bong. And, oh, I'm sorry. You've had like 15 years to come up with that fake video, fake news, and, you know, perpetuate that fraud upon the people. Or would it be perpetrate? Yeah, see, there's a plane flying into the Pentagon. Crash. Let's just pretend like that happened. Nah, I don't think so. I've been asking people, I've been saying it for like over 15 years. Well, 15, 16 years, 15 years. I've been asking, show us the damn plane that flew into the fucking Pentagon. Show us. Just show it. I mean, if you say it happened, then there obviously has to be some video or something of it. Show me. And there was plane parts somewhere. And maybe dead bodies and shit. Show us the fucking plane. And then so they show us a fake video. Pash. Like, how dumb you people think I am. Apparently you think I'm really, really dumb. Because, let's just show him a fake video. And they'll keep him quiet. That's assuming that I'm going to believe that your fake video is real. Since I know you can make fake videos these days. I can. I can also make a video and take the airplane out of the picture. Pretty much the same way as I can take a picture of a pretty girl wearing clothes and Photoshop the clothes out. You know what I'm saying? And there's these x-ray machines, body scanners, like take your clothes right off. See right through your clothes. I can't afford one of those. I'm sure they cost lots of money. But the thing is, they exist. It's sort of like Total Recall. Like, wait a minute, you can see Arnold's bones, and his, see through his clothes and his transparent skin, which is anyway. So anyway, the girl's walking down the street and she's bopping right along there with her little titties and her little camel toe showing through her bottom of her bikini. And why isn't she wearing something over that, by the way? Like maybe at least a towel or something. Because she's walking down the street in public and like, whoa, she got a lot of balls. Well, if she does, they're not showing. Unless you want to count those balls up on the front, on her chest. Those wouldn't really count as balls, would they? Those are more like melons. Alright, so anyway, I'm walking down the street, she's walking down the street, I'm walking towards her, she's walking towards me, and I'm thinking, oh, pretty woman. And, Roy Orbison. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, I like looking at that. It makes my eyeballs, like, hum. Oh, I started to say something about being a pedophile, but yeah, we'll get back to that. Not important. Well, it is, but we'll get back to it. So anyway, she's walking towards me, and she could be any age whatsoever, because I don't really know her, never seen her before in my life, but she just happens to be walking down the street. She's heading towards the swimming pool, and she's wearing a bikini, and not wrapped up in a towel or anything. She just full-blown, there she is, bikini, which is nothing more than a bra and panties. There's the other thing about that. What's the difference between a bra and a bikini top? You know what? Maybe material. Maybe it's just different material. Maybe lingerie is made out of silky stuff, and a bikini top is made out of, I don't know, cotton, polyester blend. The point is, no difference except in your mind. And if you think there's a difference between a bra and a bikini bra and a sports bra, they're bra. B-R-A, bra. Bra's ears. And there is no difference really. It's just, in your mind, you created some sort of delusion in your mind and think, oh, that's different. No, it's the same thing because it covers the same thing. And actually, a lot of bikinis and bras don't cover a whole lot of anything except maybe a nipple. That reminds me, I'm putting together a book of nipple pictures, of which I have worked my magic and made them into fine art photographs or fine art images. Digital painting, digital photograph, digital renderings, and I've done some nice work there. And anyway, I'm putting that together, and we're going to submit that to the printers. I don't want to call them the publishers because that's me, but we could just say publishers. But anyway, I'm going to submit that to Amazon, and it'll be up there on Amazon, I assume. I don't really see any reason why Amazon wouldn't print and distribute my book. We have a contract, after all. And they print and distribute whatever I give them. And, of course, they have certain little rules like, you got to put that in a category like it's fiction, nonfiction, maybe it's a children's book, or maybe it's just for adults, or, they sort of say that. You got to kind of pick one. And if you pick the wrong one and say, hey, it's a children's book, when they think it's for adults only, or not safe for work kind of thing, then, they kind of get mad at you and tell you can't publish your book on their thing anymore. I don't know how strict they are on that, but I have read stuff. I have seen books, e-books and regular hardback books, or paperback books, whatever, being sold on Amazon that are like pretty sexy, pretty, with pictures of naked girls and stuff in it. Not that I buy those, mind you. Not that I don't buy them either. Anyway, the point is, Amazon, and I think freedom of speech, freedom of the press, if there's a press, which case Amazon, has presses, and I have freedom to have access to presses. So they have, in my view, if I submit a book to Amazon through their self-publishing process called Create Space, I think it's called. I submit this book, and it's pictures of nipples. Oh, by the way, the name of the book, title of the book is NIPS, N-I-P-S, NIPS, and by me, D. McClung. And it's almost ready to go to press, and I have asked people for a year or so now, submit some photographs of your nipples, pictures of your nipples, not your nipple. Don't contribute your nipples. I can't really do anything with real nipples. I mean, just take a picture of it and, submit it to me. I will consider it and decide if it's good enough, the picture is good enough of quality that I can actually use to make fine art with, and then I will work my magic, and with my apps, as they call them nowadays, and make it into fine art and put it in the book. So there will be multiple pictures of nipples in the book. And of course, by doing so, you almost have to include a little bit of breast in the picture, sort of. You don't have to, but it doesn't hurt. I mean, it's not like I'm not showing pictures. I'm not creating works of art from just a nipple detached from the human body. That would be kind of silly. It'd be kind of painful, actually. So, I've left the nipple in place on the tip of the breast. The breast being various sizes and of various genders, because there are some male nipples in the book. Because it's not called female nips, it's called nips, meaning male, female, young and old. Because I'm not going to discriminate. Everybody's got nipples. Well, just about everybody. There are some people that may not have nipples, due to disease and surgeries and so on. And it's unfortunate, and I feel bad for them. However, in fact, I even include in the book images of before, during, and after breast cancer surgery. I have a family member who has had that unpleasant experience of breast cancer and had the surgery, breast reduction in the process, and is alive and well today, and it's been over 5 years, which is like, yes, very good, awesome. Because, quite honestly, I would miss them terribly. And so, and they gave us a scare when they found this cancer, and gave us kind of a scare, and we're like, oh my God, she might die. And she didn't, and that's awesome. And she's not dead, and she's alive, and she doesn't have cancer. And that's cool. So anyway, I've got images of the before, during, and after, pre and post surgery on the breasts to reduce them, remove the cancer, and make her well, healthy, and alive. Still, which is cool. So I've got some photographs in there, and the purpose, I guess you would say, I'm doing my duty, my civic duty, public service type thing, by including those pictures, which are, to be honest with you, a little freaky. I mean, they do weird things when they reconstruct the breast, and they move the nipple. They cut that nipple off of there and move it up a little bit and reposition it and sew it back on and put some cotton balls on the end of it, on the tip of it to cover it up, so, like a bandage to heal. But they look like cotton balls stuck on the end of your breast. Just odd. But that's what they do. I think they could have done a little better job in certain cases that I know. That didn't go down right. Sorry about that. I got all choked up over the... Anyway. The point is that I include that in the book. So it's a little public service. Breast cancer awareness. And I've done my bit for breast cancer awareness by including the photographs, for the images, in this case, the fine art pictures that I produced as a result of those pictures. And I want to point out, though, that none of the pictures in the book are people. There are images of a human being, in this case, nipples of human being, multiple cases of nipples of human beings. I want to make this clear. There is no human being in the book. Because human beings are not flat. They are three-dimensional, flesh and blood beings, like living beings. Now, bear in mind, I'm not going to go down to the funeral home and say, can I take pictures of dead bodies? Take pictures of nipples from dead bodies. I'm not going to do that, Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it is perhaps inappropriate. And I don't mean inappropriate the way the newspapers and the cops, the pigs, the law enforcement, Nazi bastard, Stasi motherfuckers use the word inappropriate. Like, oh, he touched her in an inappropriate way, and therefore he is guilty of all kinds of terrible, dastardly deeds. Well, no, because inappropriate is not a legal term. Anyway, we won't get into that too bad. We'll move on. By the way, just so you know, the word inappropriate is not a legal term. That's just some word to use to describe something that's just probably not a crime in reality. It might be rude. Might be worthy of, having your face slapped for touching me like that. You touch me don't touch me like that. Don't touch my titties. And then you slap the guy silly, and then you go about your business. You don't call the fucking cops just because he touched your boobie. Come on. Use your brain. This so-called politically correct nonsense. Anyway, the book. NIPS. Look for it. It's going to be out this year. Pretty soon. Still working on the finishing touches and adding some late contributions. People contribute. And by the way, if you're, you, the listener, you've got nipples. I'm guessing. The odds are, what, 1,000,000 to 1 that you have nipples. Maybe 1,000,000,000 to 1 that you have nipples. All right, you got it. Take your camera, whatever camera you got there. Get a nice close-up of your nipple. You don't have to, if you're a girl, you don't have to show me your old boobie, and you don't have to, like, you know, be like totally full frontal nudity picture. You know, I don't need to see your pussy, okay? That's not the book. The book, that's another book. I'm not doing that book right now. I may do a pussy book, pussy picture book, but you know, I'm not doing it now, and I have no plans to do one in the future. But I might. But anyway, if I do, then I'll let you know, and you can show me, you know, vagina pictures or dick pictures if you're a guy. If I do the book, I'll let you know. In the meantime, I'm just interested in your NIPS. All right, you got NIPS? Show me a picture. Send me a picture. Contribute. I mean, make an effort to be a part of something grander than yourself. The book is a work of art, and as a work of art, it deserves respect from, let's say, the government. Because we have freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of thought, freedom to do whatever the hell you want to do as long as you don't violate somebody else's human rights, and that doesn't have anything to do with corporations or governments because they're not humans. They're corporations, fictitious entities. They don't have rights. Remember that. That's not a theory. That's fact. So anyway, get the book. When it comes out, look for it. It'll be on Amazon under my name, D. McClung, D.L. McClung. And I've got several names, but I do some writings under the pen name of Dar Macklin. I have several pen names, which I'm allowed to do, and they're all actually legal, valid names that I could actually sign that name on any document, legal document, for example, and it's valid because I'm a man of many names. And I don't need to go to the courthouse and tell them, you know, I'm going to use this name. It's none of their business. The government has nothing to say about it. I have a human right to call myself whatever I want. You know, like, I can call myself Bruce Wayne, or, well, maybe not Bruce Wayne, because somebody might say, you're stealing that name from, you know, Batman. Who's a fictitious character, by the way. All right. So what I'm saying here is get the book, look for the book. You might enjoy the book. You may not enjoy the book. But get the book. Buy the book. Seriously. Because, why? Because I have to eat. And I get bills to pay. And I want to maintain the lifestyle in which I have grown accustomed. Which is being alive. And having water. And, actually, I'd like to have some clean water without the freaking fluoride in it. Because it's poison. At any rate. I got to eat. I got to take care of my business. I got to pay bills. You know, the studio is not free. One has to maintain the studio. In the place where I live, actually, it kind of doubles. It's like studio / home. And it's just as much one as the other. Actually, it's probably more studio than it is home. Maybe, I don't know how that works. But anyway. All right, get the book, read, look at it. Get it, buy it, love it. Enjoy it, pass it around, tell other people about it. Buy the book. Yes, I'm a shameless self-promoter. Because if I don't do it, nobody else is. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have a PR guy, I don't have some kind of representative, the agent that like goes around, you know, spreading the gospel of my words and and the beauty of my images that I produce as an artist. Professional, by the way. So anyway, I make it, you buy it, everybody's happy. Should be anyway, because what I do is awesome. All right. So anyway, the girl's walking down the street, she's walking down the street, bikini, looking good, and you're like, oh, I can't look at that. Why not? Because I'm like a man, I'm like grown up, you know, like whatever, 19, 32, 68, whatever. I can't look at that. Why not? Because that would be a felony. What? She's walking down a public street, on the sidewalk, in public, where anybody with eyeballs can see her. That happens to be in the vicinity of that area. And I'm walking down the street, and she's walking down the street, and I'm like, wow, hey, that's just hot. By the way, I didn't say she was like fucking naked and, her pussy and everything's hanging out and her tits are hanging out, all naked without anything on them. There's a bikini on them, in this case. Not always. Sometimes they don't. Anyway, and she's just minding her own business, going down the swimming pool. Maybe she's coming back from the swimming pool, and she does have a towel in her arm hanging, from her hand. And, I'm sorry. It's not a crime to look, because that's just what happens when it's a natural thing to do. I mean, eyeballs are open, you're awake, you're conscious, and your eyeballs see what's in front of them. And there she comes, walking down the street, and I'm walking down, and I'm looking, and there she is, and bingo! My eyeballs say, wow, that's nice. She's pretty. And you're saying, you pervert, you sicko, you pedophile. I haven't done a damn thing. I'm just walking down the street, mind my own business, and my eyeballs see her. And probably sees some other things, like a tree. And maybe a billboard, and maybe, some cars driving by down the street, and some people in the cars, and like little old ladies and shit. And a police car goes by, and there's a cop in there. And he's looking at the girl, too, because he's a human being. Like a man, duh. And then he's going, you're looking at that girl, I'm going to arrest you. You're a felon, you're a pervert. Like, excuse me, arrest your own damn self, you fucking sicko. Besides, nobody's done anything criminal. I'm just looking. And if the girl doesn't want me to see her, doesn't want me to look at her with my eyeballs and see her in my brain, like a camera, snap, snap, click, click, keep that in my mind, in my memory card in my brain. If that's not the way it is, then there's something wrong with people. Anyhow, that is the way it is. That's the nature of things. It's reality. It's sanity. Normal. Natural. And I have a right to look at whatever's in front of me. So if she doesn't want to be seen, she should stay at home in the basement. I mean, duh. Let's be sane people here. Alright, I'm going to get another show out of this, because I'm running out of time on this segment. Gee, the time does go fast when you're having fun. And enlightening people with things that are like true and real and logical. So I look at the girl, I see the girl, she's a gorgeous little thing, and she's only 15, so obviously, whoa. And you're like, you sicko, you look at that girl, and lusting after her in my heart. I assure you, it's not my heart. And a little lower than that I'm lusting. And you think, there's something wrong with you. And, nope, nothing wrong with me. It's perfectly natural, because any man over the age of freaking 12 who does not look at that pretty girl and say, pretty girl, he's not normal. And he's not, he's just totally, like, not natural, because he probably doesn't have any balls. Like a eunuch. Every man on the planet would look at that and say, nice. And if they imagine that maybe they were at some situation where they actually could have sex with that, they would. They might not admit to it, but they would. At least in their mind, they would. They're already thinking, nice tits, yummy, yummy. If you think that's not true, you're a fucking idiot. Seriously. Alright, I gotta go. I'll continue this on segment 2 of today's show. And you ought to listen to it. Yeah, I'll listen to all my shows. There's like 152 of them at this point. And you should all listen to all of them and pass them on, share them with other people, friends, and put them on your Facebook shit. So, share. Pass it around. Because, what I say is interesting. And it's important. And you should listen. And then other people should listen. And spread the word. So, I'll catch you later. And thanks for listening.